Welcome back to Truly Force-Free Animal Training Trainer's Quick Tip. Today I want to talk about a concept that I talk to my private clients about, I talk in my classes about, and what I commonly tell these people is don't go from kindergarten to college. And what does that mean? Well, going from kindergarten to college means that you're taking too many steps too fast and you're pushing your learner, mostly your dogs, but it could be your other animals, too fast to learn something. So when I'm teaching agility, the first thing that those dogs all learn is the basic equipment. They learn how to go over a jump. They go how to go through a tunnel. And when I make the tunnel, I make it a little smaller. I make the jumps a little lower. I make the A-frame a little lower. I make everything easier as if they were in kindergarten, just like we do with our kids when they're learning to read. We don't start teaching them how to read The Great Gatsby or some major novel. We teach them what the letters are, we teach them how they sound, we put together sight words. So we take things one step at a time. Oftentimes when we're training our dogs, what happens is maybe they learn sit right away and we want to add stay. So we go from a sit, just barely, to trying to do a 5-minute stay 10 feet away. That's way too much. That's going from kindergarten to college. So when you're breaking things down, no matter what you're teaching, you want to take baby steps and watch your learner. If your dog seems to be getting confused, then you are going too fast. When we go too fast, we set them up for failure. When we set them up for failure, we make it so they're less likely to want to learn. Learning's not as fun. If you think about if you do a subject that's hard, maybe you're not really good at algebra and your teacher was pushing you so fast you were getting behind. You end up giving up, you get frustrated, and it's not fun, and then you hate the subject. But if you have a teacher who goes really slow with you and really makes sure you have the foundation, make sure you understand it, it makes any subject better. And so when we get pushed, it really sets us up to fail. So when you're working with your dog, with anything, make sure you take those baby steps. You don't want to go too fast. So what I do when I'm working with Captain or Scout, and I start to notice that they're getting confused. Maybe I'm working on a new skill, or I'm working on sit stay as a really good example. And I put them in a sit and they get a really good sit, but I start to step away and they get up. Then I know that I'm stepping away too soon and it's just too hard for them in that moment for me to get that far away. So then I just don't step that far away. No matter what skill you're teaching, go to bed, if you're teaching spin, if you notice that they're getting confused, step back and don't go so fast. Another example I give is when you learn to drive. First you take driver's ed, then you take driver's training. You drive around in a parking lot, or you drive around in really quiet streets. You don't go from driver's ed all the way to a highway in New York or the 405 in California. You don't go that fast because you would get overwhelmed. If a new driver went from driver's ed to the 405, they would almost certainly get in an accident, which then would make them less confident about driving and mean they may never want to drive again. We want to make learning fun. And if learning is too stressful because we're pushing too fast, it gets frustrating, and then our dogs will get frustrated. They don't want to learn. That's oftentimes when they get called stubborn. They're not being stubborn, they're just confused. So next time you're training your dog or your cat or your horse or any other animal and they seem to be getting a little bit confused, step back and see where were they succeeding and go back to that. And then take smaller baby steps rather than these big leaps, because smaller baby steps will get you places faster than trying to take these big leaps, especially when you keep having 5 steps forward and then 6 steps back. You want to take 3 steps forward or 1 or 2 steps forward at a time rather than these big leaps. So I hope that helps. You probably on my videos will hear me say, don't go from kindergarten to college, because it's one of my commonly used phrases when I'm teaching. So hopefully this helps you not go from kindergarten to college with your animal, and I'll see you next time.